Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. You need a water filtration system or some water softeners, you go to betterwater.com. We got a lot to get to today. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. Did anybody else kind of enjoy the rain yesterday? Kind of enjoyed the rain yesterday. Maybe I'm the only one, but I like a good rainy day. Do you like a good rainy day?
It was kind of nice. It cooled everything off a little bit. Like compared to Friday, it was kind of a cool weekend, and I liked it.
It was like 30-plus days that we had over 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Which
is
insane.
Nuts.
It's like, I should have wrote this down. But they said it was like the 6th longest stretch we have on record.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
I believe it.
It was insane. But the temperatures broke, so that's pretty nice, and we're big fans of that. A lot to get to today, a lot to talk about. Let's start with CNN. CNN went on TV, and they essentially told us what we already knew, which happens from time to time, but it's very shocking for the individuals at CNN to admit this. Donald Trump, the most influential president in a century?
Is arguably the most influential this century and probably as well dating back a good portion of the last century as well. Love it, like it, lump it. Trump is remaking in the United States of America. Let's talk about tariffs first, right? There's all this talk that Donald Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. No tacos for Trump. The effective tariff rate, get this, it's 18%, the highest since the FDR administration in the 1930s, up from, get this, just 2% last year. From just 2% last year, we're talking about a level, an effective tariff rate level, get this, 9 times as high this year than last year. But it's not just on tariffs.
But real quick, on the tariff front, we're bringing in a lot of money, man. A lot of money. The official tally for tariff revenue in July was $29.6 billion with a B. Insane.
Of course, Donald Trump ran on, in which you're seeing a tremendously influential presidency. What about immigration? Of course, Trump ran and has always run on a very hawkish immigration platform. Get this, 2025 net migration in the United States down at least 60% from last year. In fact, we may be heading for the first time in at least 50 years in which we have net negative migration into the United States. And last year, of course, in 2024, the net migration in the U.S. was 2.8 million. This year, we might be talking about negative net migration. My goodness gracious. Now, of course.
This is what I voted for, just to let you know. Trump bringing in massive amounts of dollars in the form of tariffs, migration through the floor. I mean, it's in the basement. It's in the crawl space at this point, down 60%. Might be the first net negative we've had in 50 years. Thank you, President Trump.
This is part of a larger story, as I was mentioning. We're talking about immigration, net migration. We're talking about the effective tariff rate. But get this, how is Donald Trump doing it? Well, he is signing a ton of executive orders. Get this, 180, the most in a year since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Oh, my goodness, you have to go back to the first half of the 20th century, the last century. And to make a comparison, Joe Biden signed, get this, just 77 during his entire first year. And we're only a little bit in August so far. And Donald Trump making history with 180.
Now, the executive orders are great, and I do fully appreciate the executive orders, but we also have to understand that with Biden, he didn't have the pushback that Trump has. Trump doesn't just get pushback from the left. He also gets pushback from the right, though it's not always where you can see it. It's behind the scenes. Biden didn't have to deal with either of those things. He had no pushback from anyone. I mean, let's not even joke. Merrick Garland was confirmed by Republicans. You know what I mean? So Biden didn't have the uphill battle that Donald Trump had. Donald Trump knew he needed to fix this country right. 180 executive orders. I hope that we continue to see these codified into law. Otherwise, we could get a Democrat in here and they could all be erased. Now, do I think that that's the reasonable thing that's going to happen? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know how the Democrats can recover in time for midterms, let alone who they're going to prop up for a presidential run in 2028. We were talking, me and Dan, on our podcast, Mostly Peaceful, episode 4, available everywhere now. YouTube is the place we go. But we were talking on the podcast. It's like Mayor Pete is polling at better numbers than Kamala Harris. So, yeah, they got a lot of issues on the Democrat side. Meanwhile, Trump, he's got a lot of wins, and he's stacking them. He was given an interview over the weekend, and he broke down just the wins that he's had in the last 6 months. This was on Newsmax over the weekend.
You know, they're saying we had the greatest 6 months in the history of the presidency. We have done so much. The big, beautiful bill, the whole thing. I mean, everything. And that's the biggest tax cuts ever, the biggest regulation cuts ever. Less people. Wait till you see the boom that this country goes through in 5 or 6 months from now with all of the things that are happening. Car plants are getting ready to start built. Mm-hmm. They're going to be built by record numbers. The AI stuff is crazy, what's going on there. Billions and billions, trillions of dollars is being, and it's all going to start very shortly now. It's amazing. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investments in this country. And wait till you see what happens. We're going to have a successful country like I think we've never had before.
I'm with them. We haven't seen the fruit from the investments. We haven't seen the fruit from the reshoring of our manufacturing base. We haven't seen the fruit from the record trade deals and the opening of markets that we've seen with EU and Japan and Korea. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. We're not at full strength yet. So with the job numbers last week, 73K, I believe it was, it's not great. It's not exactly something that we want to beat the drum and celebrate. But we do understand that this is just a small hiccup until we get to full strength. And I think Trump is going to get us there sooner rather than later. In the meantime, the Democrats, they don't know what to do. They keep railing against Donald Trump and they keep screaming orange man bad, but that's all they really have. They can't present anything else to the voters. They don't have any new ideas. They don't have any solutions. They can't even really classify what the problems are because it just goes back to orange man bad. Amy Klobuchar over the weekend was asked why Democrat polling numbers are down so low, and they are. Those are in the basement as well, but lower than how much we've seen net migration drop. But Amy Klobuchar, she's asked, why are the Democrats' polling numbers so low? And she does what Democrats always do. She goes, well, it's the orange man.
And yet, voters out there, while they have started to say that they're unhappy with Donald Trump in many ways, some of his numbers have dipped on issues that he's otherwise strong on, like the economy and immigration, they're still not happy with Democrats. And that's different from 2018, which was, the first half of his first term. What's different now? Why aren't Democrats feeling the love from voters?
I mean, you guys went way too far left. You guys demonize everything. I mean, look at the Sydney Sweeney ad. Democrats have an issue with male voters, young male voters, and they spent millions of dollars to try to figure out how to reach out to young male voters. And then the left just goes absolutely banana crazy on Sydney Sweeney over jeans. Like, this is your issue. This is your issue. Amy Klobuchar, what do you think the issue is?
Well, first of all, I can understand how they're feeling. They're just feeling that there's more chaos, more corruption, and costs are going up. And they know when Republicans control both houses and he's president, this is a rubber stamp situation. So I'm telling you right now, when you look at the actual numbers, I don't expect everyone to be loving politicians right now. This is a really hard time to be in America.
Oh, yeah, so hard. So hard. Why do all the third worlders want to come here then? Lord knows. Lord knows. They still can't understand why they're having issues. Again, they don't present new ideas. They don't say what they're going to do for the people. They just yell about what Trump has done. It's not a winning recipe. And the Democrats understand how influential Trump is, and they understand how influential they're not. Just over the weekend on MSNBC, there's a reporter that says the power that Donald Trump has amassed has the Democrats shaken.
They see all this power that President Trump has amassed, and they're very shaken by it. And they're not also really understanding how not only did they lose, yes, it was a close election, but they lost every battleground state. And that's something that I think Democrats are still trying to wrap their heads around.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And it does seem like they're going to prop up Kamala Harris for another 2028 run, or at least it seems like Kamala is angling for her own 2028 run. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, they're a mess. How did this happen? They still have no idea how this happened. Joe Biden, I mean, going back to the last clip, Harry Enton talking about migration being down. Joe Biden let in 2.8 million illegal aliens. 2.8 in 1 year. I mean, come on. How did this happen? We don't know. And this administration is still pushing forward despite being held hostage by Democrats. I know that you've been paying attention to this story But we're trying to get some nominations through so that way we can get Donald Trump up to full strength. Again, he's done all of this not at full strength, which is wild. Over the weekend, Donald Trump took to Truth Social and really laid into Chuck Schumer, man. He's not happy. He's not happy with one Chucky Schumer. And Schumer is holding the nomination process hostage. Donald Trump said Senator crying Chuck Schumer is demanding over $1 billion in order to approve a small number of our highly qualified nominees who should right now be helping to run our country. This demand is egregious and unprecedented and would be embarrassing to the Republican Party if it were accepted. It's political extortion by any other name. Tells Schumer, who is under tremendous political pressure from within his own party, the radical left lunatics too, all caps, go to hell. Do not accept this offer. Go home and explain to your constituents what bad people the Democrats are and what a great job the Republicans are doing and have done for our country. Have a great recess and make America great again. They did get some nominations through over the weekend. I don't know if you pay attention to the rapid response account on X, but they ran through a ton of nominations. But Schumer demanding $1 billion in order to approve this deal. Donald Trump continued, the Democrats are extortionists who almost destroyed our country. Now we're back, and the USA is the hottest country anywhere in the world. Make America great again. And he did also give a head nod to John Thune, saying, Leader Thune and Speaker Mike Johnson, thank you both. The great, big, beautiful bill will go down as one of the most consequential pieces of legislation in the history of our nation, he wrote in a third Truth Social post on Saturday night. So he's going after the Democrats, he's going after the left, and he's also praising his guys. I think that you could probably have an argument against John Thune here. You know, recess appointments should be on the table. You can make that argument. You can make the argument that Thune has been meh. I think that's the nicest way I can put it. He hasn't been awful, but he hasn't been great. We'll see what happens. But the Democrats are trying to hold on as long as they can to this nomination process. Meanwhile, across the country, that's in D.C., over in Texas, we have Texas Democrats running away to avoid redistricting, which is just, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. This happens all the time. It happens when Democrats are in power, and it happens when Republicans are in power. And these Texas Democrats see the redistricting happening in their states. The rumor has that it will add 5 more Republican seats, and they're not very happy about it. Texas Democrats fled late Sunday in an attempt to prevent the state house from holding a vote Monday on new congressional maps. The Republicans hope will net them several additional U.S. seats in the 2026 midterms. This dramatic move could expose Democrats to fines and other penalties, with the state's attorney general having previously threatened to arrest them if they take such actions. Refusing to attend legislative sessions is a civil violation. However, Democrats legally could not be jailed, and it's unclear who has the power to carry out warrants. Democrats have cast the decision to leave the state as a last-ditch effort to stop these Republicans from holding this vote. And these guys they're putting out videos too. One of the Democrat state representatives out of Texas, it sort of seems like a hostage video if I'm telling you the truth, but this is him. He's like, if you're seeing this video, we've fled Texas.
This is State Representative James Tallarico from Texas. If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab.
Wow. So brave. Stunning and brave, everybody. The Texas Democrats are stunning and brave. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know what really is going on here, right? They're freaking out because word on the street is that if this redistricting goes through, Jasmine Crockett says that the new U.S. House map in Texas is going to draw her out of the district. Whew. That's the big D in Texas is Jasmine Crockett. She's the big Democrat. She's like the leader, right? The leader of the Texas Democrats. Is there another Texas Democrat that you would hold higher? And I think you can also make the case that she's one of the new faces of the Democrat Party. And if this redistricting draws her out of the seat, man, how amazing would that be? Salty, sweet, liberal tears are so satisfying and nourishing to the mind, body, and soul. And I'm here for it. I am. Now, with all of this going on, Obama's wingman, Eric Holder, he's got something to say about the redistricting. Okay. Why is this guy back? We'll talk about it when we return. 921 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Coming up here on Super Talk 99.7, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in Israel. He's hoping to get the hostages released from Gaza. Also, President Trump's visit to his New Jersey golf course causing some trouble in the skies. All of that and more coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan Jones. 927 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Chris Hand here. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. And for the YouTube audience, we're going to be debuting the brand new Chris Hand Show intro on the stream at 10 o'clock.
I'm kind of hyped.
We're kind of hyped.
It's pretty cool.
We're very excited. The kids, they hopped on the train with the wife and the grandparents today. They went up to D.C., so they're in D.C. They're staying right on the National Mall. But
That's
so
cool.
It left me with a lot of free time over the weekend.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I know. Mason, at a certain point, I'm sure, of the weekend was like, dude, stop texting me. Right? Am I wrong?
I'm all here for it.
Am I wrong? No. At a certain point, Mason was like, I'm putting on the Do Not Disturb.
I did. I'm not going to lie. I put on Do Not Disturb. I got bombarded with texts from Chris this weekend. Killer stuff, by the way.
Dude, I'm having so much fun.
I thought it was so cool. But I was like, dude, I was here till 11:30 editing that YouTube video for Saturday morning.
Mostly
Go check it out.
peaceful.
Mostly peaceful. It's great.
It's live now. And then I was just
not even
harassing
9 o'clock. And I got a text. Hey, what do you think of this clip? It's like, dude, this is my sleep time.
This is Mason time.
This is Mason
You need
time.
to leave me alone.
Stop
That's what
it.
he was saying. If you're not watching us on the stream, you should jump over there. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Rumble. So at 10 o'clock,
I think it's pretty good.
The brand new intro video is going to play. If you've wanted to see Mason in a bow tie,
Oh no.
this is
Great
what
picture,
this is what
too.
the intro video
Yeah.
is for.
Oh man.
I think it ranks up there with all-time intro videos.
I think it's
Full
pretty good.
House, Brady Bunch, Chris Hand Show. That's coming at 10 o'clock. We got a lot more on the way as well. So Eric Holder, maybe you've heard of him, Attorney General for one Barack Hussein Obama. He's actually very impressed with these Texas Democrats fleeing the state because you know what's happening in Texas, right? It's a vicious assault on democracy. This is a threat to democracy.
We've always had partisan redistricting. Thus it ever was. Thus it ever will be.
Yep.
How is this different?
Well, simply because this is something that has afflicted the nation for, an extended period of time doesn't mean that it's right. What we're seeing now is an attempt by the White House to insulate itself from any kind of congressional scrutiny, any kind of congressional oversight, to make sure that Donald Trump remains the authoritarian figure that he has become. We have a compliant Congress, and he wants to ensure that, given the fact that they passed this bill that is unpopular, that takes health care away from people, that gives tax breaks to billionaires, and it puts at risk the Republican majority. He wants to ensure that he continues to have that compliant Republican House of Representatives. And that, I think, is something that we need to take into account. Our democracy is threatened.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to react that way. It's just, there's something in my core when our democracy gets threatened that gets very, very frightened. And I didn't realize that this redistricting, which Democrats have done over and over and Republicans have done over and over, I didn't realize how different it is now. Now that the orange man's in office, now it's a threat to democracy. Okay. I get it. And that new information has completely changed my mind. It's 9:31. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It's now 9:31. I'm Joan Jones with your top story. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff met with the families of hostages in Israel over the weekend. ABC's Ian Pannell reporting from Tel Aviv.
What he told them was, we are very, very close to a solution to end this war. What does that mean? Well, he says that Hamas has said that they are prepared to demilitarize, which is frankly mystifying because publicly, at least, that's not what they're saying. He also says that there's a plan to bring all hostages home at once. Again, mystifying because they're struggling to bring even small groups home. An Israeli official also telling ABC News that Prime Minister Netanyahu is pushing to expand the military operation, to release the hostages through a military solution.
President Trump saying that Witkoff will visit Russia in the coming days ahead of the August 8th deadline for Moscow to end its war on Ukraine or face new sanctions. 2 nuclear submarines the president deployed are now in the region of Russia. A man drowned yesterday after he fell off a sailboat on Percy Priest Lake. WSMV4's Alexandria Adams says this happened about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency telling us that David Holcroft and his wife were on the sailboat when multiple waves hit the boat and he fell into the water. Well, boaters nearby jumped in to save him. We knew that Holcroft was pronounced dead at the hospital. Officials are saying that he was not wearing a life jacket.
This was the 17th boating-related death in Tennessee this year. Fighter jets scrambled 5 times over the weekend to intercept civilian aircraft that had flown over President Trump's New Jersey golf course at Bedminster. In one case, NORAD aircraft used flares to draw the pilot's attention. The president visiting his golf course prompts a temporary restricted airspace, according to the White House, which is urging pilots to do their homework before they take off. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 9:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can find me on Twitter, True Social, and Instagram, and YouTube, at Chris Hand on Air. They're all the same, all across all the platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Appreciate it. We're going to be putting out a lot more content on my personal YouTube page, at Chris Hand on Air, as well as the Super Talk YouTube page, 99.7 WTN. So find us, like us, and we'll put the... do they do shorts on Rumble?
I don't know, but I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, we'll look into that. Maybe we'll start doing it on Rumble as well.
Yeah.
But we're putting out a lot of content.
I'm here for it.
A lot of content. So appreciate you guys consuming the content any way you do. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. Did you see what I did a moment ago?
No.
I accidentally hit the TV again.
Yeah, I noticed the crack was stretching a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're going to blame it on me?
So I'm very strong. I'll just be perfectly honest with you.
Probably the strongest in the building.
Probably one of the strongest guys in the building.
At least on the station.
Except for, Ramon over at Super Talk, over at 104.5 The Zone. Yeah, he could probably take me. Other than that, I feel pretty confident. But I just swung that door open.
Smashed it.
The difference is like, I'm strong and it was an accident. When Joan did it, she was angry and it was on purpose.
No.
What do you think she's angry at?
She's angry all the time. I think it's a combo of things. I think it's
just stomping around.
It has to do with Dan.
Kicking indoors.
I think some of it has to do with Sam, the new producer that they got on the morning show.
Hey,
Yeah,
if you were me, wouldn't you be angry, guys?
She's just angry. She's
just furious all the time.
She's little, but she's fiery.
See,
you know how many times I get yelled at a day?
She's like our version of Stephen Miller. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you? That's how I would describe Joan.
I'm right here, you know.
She's the female Stephen Miller who's just got this red hot temper about her. And
I think you guys are trying to make the hole in the TV worse.
Like I said, I did it by accident.
Yeah.
And Joan,
she did it on purpose.
Okay.
Just rage.
Before we got into the break, I said let's talk crap about Joan, and then let's ignore her when she tries to chime in. That's what I said to Mason. He said, "All right, let's do it." Okay, enough about that. I would love to talk about what was discussed over the weekend news shows when it comes to, oh gee whiz, I don't know, Obama, Hillary, Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Russia. I would love to discuss that with you guys. But it seems like the mainstream media went completely silent, completely dark on this story over the weekend, which is no surprise to anyone. One news station did cover it. It was Newsmax, and they had Donald Trump on for an interview on Finnerty's show. This is what Mr. President said.
New emails, Mr. President, suggest essentially that Hillary Clinton personally approved the Russia hoax.
With Obama.
With Barack Obama. And my question is she finally going to pay for what she did, or does she get a pass again?
So, we had her, and I had her right under the sights, and I told the people, look, you can't do this to a president's wife, an ex-president, and she was Secretary of State, right. But you can't do this to the wife of a president. And
do you still feel that way?
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about it in a second. If you remember, I was at a rally, and it was after the election, and they said, lock her up, and I said, no, look, we won, just relax. And I didn't do what other people would have done, what they would have done. And then they went after me, and they meant it. I said, it's amazing. I always felt that you shouldn't be doing this stuff, and I let Hillary off the hook.
Let Hillary off the hook. He kind of regrets it now. You can understand, though, in the time, in the immediate aftermath of the 2016 election, when Trump is trying to heal the country, why he doesn't go after Hillary Clinton. But it does seem like his opinion on things has changed.
Totally left her off the hook. And then I let her off the hook for what? And then I come in and they did the same thing to me. The difference is they actually meant it. And they hurt a lot of people, and it was all a hoax.
Yep.
And now they have it in black and white. No, I think they should pay a price.
How directly?
By the way, it's a very big price. It could be the biggest scandal in the history of our country, but it continues onward. And that continues onward. That scandal has continued from the beginning. They have everything they do is a hoax. They're no good at anything other than some forms of nasty politics.
He's not wrong. I've heard Trump say a couple different times, man, if only you could use all of this brain power for something productive for the country instead of going after me. And it's so true. Imagine if the Democrats took all of their energy and effort that they use to getting Trump, and they use that for benefiting American citizens. It'd be amazing. I think we could actually have a wonderful country, but they don't. They would rather use that time and energy to hurt the orange man. But are we going to see any arrests? I think that's what is on everybody's mind, and it depends on what camp you're in. There's a lot of people that are black-pilled. Nothing's going to happen, and I understand that. Maybe nothing will happen. But there's other people that say, no. This is going to be big, and you're going to see individuals in handcuffs. Stephen Miller was on with Maria Bartiromo over the weekend, and Stephen Miller says that the statute of limitations has not been reached when it comes to Obama's intel community, which is an interesting development, and I love that Stephen Miller said this over the weekend.
That we can reclaim this democracy, Maria.
Well, do you believe we will actually get accountability? We've been demanding accountability now for a decade. Our audience is well aware that this is the biggest political scandal we have ever seen, and an effort to undermine and take down a duly elected president. But now we want to see the tricksters face the consequences. Will they?
I mean, it's a perfect question. And if there was any reasonable media out there, ABC, NBC, CBS, they would have been asking this all weekend too. But they won't, because they're complicit in this hoax. Stephen Miller.
I have complete confidence in the Department of Justice to follow these facts, to follow this new, further avalanche of evidence, and to take all the necessary legal steps to ensure that the wrongdoers, the coup plotters, the schemers, and the insurrectionists are held fully accountable under the laws and Constitution of these United States. Yes, Maria, I believe that.
Oh. Well, that's pretty positive. He does believe that people will be held accountable.
Now, last weekend, John Ratcliffe, a CIA director who is a former prosecutor, former DNI, told us that the statute of limitations, the 5-year statute, does not apply when it comes to conspiracy. And he says the conspiracy is ongoing because they still won't admit it. The conspiracy is still happening. So what is your take on what Ratcliffe told us last week?
Oh, he's completely right. So several of the statutes I mentioned, we have not even come close to eclipsing the statute of limitations. But more than that, it is an ongoing and continuing conspiracy. It continued through the entirety of President Trump's first term. It continued through the entirety of President Biden's term in office, and it continues to this day. There are still deep state coup plotters who are trying to conceal and hide this information on behalf of the people they are protecting. There are still staffers in Democrat offices who know the full truth, who are concealing that truth. So all of this behavior, all of this conduct, collectively means the conspiracy hasn't ended, is ongoing. Comey, in particular, has throughout the years engaged in conduct and lies, public statements, and testimony in front of Congress. False testimony, whose sole purpose was to perpetuate and continue the conspiracy. So I have every hope and expectation that the Department of Justice, under the leadership of our courageous Attorney General, will follow these facts and follow the evidence and deliver justice. Because if we have a country where we can continue to have FBI careerists and CIA careerists, deep staters, who will fabricate and doctor evidence, who will create and produce fake material, fabricated material, phony information to try to go after their political enemies, up to and including the president. If we continue to create the impression and the reality that there is not a criminal, a severe criminal penalty for such conduct, it will never stop, it will never desist, it will keep on going forever.
He's right. He's right. You have to charge some of these people criminally. Otherwise, there's no consequences and there's no reason for any of these individuals to stop. You need a deterrent. You need it. We'll see what happens. It's just 6682 texted in. You know what he said? This is back to what we were joking about with the door.
Oh, yeah.
He said, if you're the strong guy in the building, it's filled with nothing but soy. Anyway, I get distracted with the super text line from time to time. Stephen Miller, accountability, is it going to come? He sounds like it's going to come. He sounds very confident that there will be accountability. I'm just on the fence on this one. I think that there's the evidence there. I think that there are people in power that want to see accountability, but there's also a lot of people that don't. And I don't know, man. I'm torn on this one. I'm hopeful, and I pray that we do see justice and we do see accountability, but I'm also realistic in the sense of we may not. We'll see what happens. Stephen Miller seems pretty confident. He seems pretty confident. In the meantime, President Trump isn't just dealing with enemies domestically, he's dealing with enemies abroad. And he was asked about Russia. You know, we moved some nuclear subs into the region because of escalating tensions. And President Trump had some words to say during that interview on Newsmax about the former Russian president, Medvedev. Is it Medvedev? Whatever it is. Who he was former president, but now he's in charge of one of the most important councils. And Trump didn't hold back.
A former president of Russia, who's now in charge of one of the most important councils, Medvedev, said some things that were very bad, talking about nuclear. And when you mention the word nuclear, I say, you know, my eyes light up, and I say, we better be careful, because it's the ultimate threat. He shouldn't have said it. He's got a fresh mouth. He said things in the past, too. And so we always want to be ready. And so I have sent to the region 2 nuclear submarines. I just want to make sure that his words are only words and nothing more than that.
So we got nuclear subs in the region near Russia. A lot of people are panicking online. They say this is going to be World War III. And I would point to, if you're going to have anybody in office with this kind of escalation, who better than Donald J. Trump? This guy keeps ending wars. He doesn't really start them. And I don't know, man. I didn't trust him with the Iran-Israel stuff. I thought that was going to be a quagmire. That was going to be a mess. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. I do trust President Trump to do the right thing when it comes to Russia. And part of it goes to all the wars that he's ended.
Well, you know, we've settled a lot of wars. You take a look at what's happened just over the last little while. We've settled a lot of very beautiful wars have been settled.
That don't get a lot of attention from the media.
No, they don't talk about it.
Can I just ask you, your 10-day deadline?
One of the wars, think of it.
Sorry.
India, Pakistan, nuclear. You look at Cambodia just recently. It looked like that was going to be another big war. It was going to be a war. I settled that up, and I settled it up with trade. I settled a lot of them with trade. I said, listen, you guys are going to fight. You can fight all you want. I mean, just fight your hearts out, but we're not doing a trade deal. And all of a sudden, they end up not doing a war. I settled in the Congo. We settled a big one with Rwanda. It's going on for 31 years, 8 million people dead, killed. It looked like it was going to go on for another 31 years, and we settled that one. Kosovo, you know about that, with Serbia. That was going to break out. I mean, I settled a lot of wars. I think I settled averaging about a war a month. But, you know, we're saving millions of lives.
Again, so if you're going to have any president that is dealing with these escalating tensions, I want the guy who ends wars, not starts them. And I want the guy who is really striving for peace. And you hear him talking about the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the lives lost on both sides. I don't envision Donald Trump a guy who's going to want to escalate to World War III for no reason at all. We'll see what happens. But definitely a story we're keeping our eyes on here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. On the way, President Trump was also asked about Sydney Sweeney. Oh, yeah, the same Sydney Sweeney that the Democrats are railing against. We'll talk about that when we get back. It's 9:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Texas Democrats get shelter from a northern governor as they flee their state to avoid a vote, and why a daycare owner is sitting in jail today. Coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name's Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Donald Trump asked about the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad late last night.
Sweeney came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican. Any thoughts on that?
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President.
That's President Trump on the controversy surrounding Sydney Sweeney. We talked a little bit more about that on our podcast, myself and Dan did. Mostly Peaceful episode 4, available everywhere now on YouTube. Is that's the best way to go. But Trump doubled down on the Sydney Sweeney stuff with a True Social post this morning saying Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. It's for American Eagle, and the jeans are flying off the shelves. Fun fact, I know a couple dads who have gone out and bought themselves some American Eagle jeans after this ad dropped. The jeans are flying off the shelves. He says, go get him, Sydney. On the other side of the ledger, Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement that is a total disaster. The CEO resigned in disgrace, and the company's in absolute turmoil. Who wants to buy a Jaguar after looking at that disgraceful ad? Shouldn't they have learned a lesson from Bud Light, which went woke and essentially destroyed in a short campaign the company? The market cap destruction has been unprecedented, with billions of dollars so foolishly lost. Or just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was saying on Truth, that I can't stand her, hate, she was booed out of the Super Bowl and became no longer hot. The tide has seriously turned. Being woke is for losers. Being Republican is what you want to be. Thank you for your attention to this matter. 10 o'clock, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, 10 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Watch it. There's a crash involving injuries on the eastbound side of 24 this morning in Pleasant View. This is just past Springfield, Ashland City. Exit 24, pretty slow in that area. Dozens of Democrat lawmakers from Texas have abandoned their seats and hightailed it to Illinois. They're protesting a vote to redistrict the state.
Orchestrated by state Republicans with the support of President Trump.
Just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
It would potentially give the GOP a path to pick up 5 more seats in next year's midterm elections, helping Republicans keep control of their razor-thin majority in the House and clearing the way for the president's agenda.
NBC's Ryan Chandler there. Now, the exit of the Democrats was coordinated with Illinois Governor J.D. Pritzker, who is threatening to redistrict his own state in an effort to increase the number of Democrats in the House of Representatives. U.S. Marshals have increased their portion of the reward for information that leads to the capture of quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond of Lake County. That reward now stands at $17,000. This is now the 7th day that police have been searching for him after the murders of 4 people last week. WSMV4's Courtney Allen tells us there have been some arrests made.
While Drummond remains at large, 2 cars tied to him have been found. And the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has arrested 2 men they believe helped him. Tanaka Brown and Giovante Thomas have both been charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Brown is also facing a tampering with evidence charge.
Also, police are saying that the baby found in Dyer County is in good condition and being cared for by family members. That baby is related to the 4 people who were killed. The owner of a Houston home-based daycare is sitting in jail on $50,000 bond and facing 5 counts of child endangerment. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
The temperature in Houston was in the 90s when witnesses saw Dominique Wilson turn off her car and take her 2 children into a grocery store. Still in the vehicle,
there are 5 children who were endangered, found red-faced, in distress, crying, with the window barely cracked.
a hearing officer laid out the case against the 32-year-old Wilson. Surveillance video suggests the 3 infants and 2 older children were in the car 40 minutes before a store manager got them out unharmed. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Metro Nashville police are investigating after dozens of cars were broken into in the parking lot of St. Thomas Midtown Hospital. This happened on Friday night in the employee parking lot. Police are checking through hours of surveillance video to try to identify the thieves. On Wall Street, investors are clawing back after steep losses on Friday. The Dow Jones Industrial is currently trading 474 points higher. That's the latest news. Weather is up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
.06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, let us know what you think about that intro video. We produced that over the weekend. I thought it was pretty gas. Myself.
I think it was dope.
I'm
here for it, for
I love
sure.
the picture of Mason.
It's something else.
Dude, it's so funny. So, like, I spent like 15 hours over the weekend just trying to learn video editing.
Yeah, you were slaving.
And at one point, it was like, I mean, if you like that video, the original one was just trash. So I had thumbnails. I had like thumbnail pictures for Ken and for Joan. And my wife was like, "You don't want that." She's like, "Get video of him." I was like, "That's a good idea. What am I thinking?"
Your words to me that she said was, "That's awful. Do it over."
Yeah, that's fair. She said, "That's awful. Do it over." And then she's like, "Get rid of the thumbnail pictures." And I said, "I will, but not for Mason. You look too dapper."
I was all dressed up at a leadership conference like right after high school and going into college, and I was like, of all the pictures,
I scoured your Instagram account.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell.
If you don't know what we're talking about, find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, and find my personal page at Chris Hand on Air on YouTube, and like and subscribe as well. Appreciate you guys. Donald Trump, the Sydney Sweeney stuff is so funny. If you want more Sydney Sweeney conversation, I'm over it, to be perfectly honest with you. But we did talk about it on our podcast. Mostly Peaceful with Dan and Chris. That's on the 99.7 WTN Facebook, YouTube page. Go there, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with your friends. So one of the big conversations is the economy. We're going to get to that momentarily. Real quick, though, I got Mike in Nashville who's on the line. He wants to talk about something different. What's up, Mike? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know if you covered this subject this morning because I missed the first hour, but I wanted to make a comment about something and see how you feel.
Yeah, man.
And thank you, and let you know how I feel and how some other people feel. Now, Chris, I'm one of Donald Trump. You know, I'm one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters. I'm a Republican. I voted for Trump.
Yep.
The last two times, well, 3 times he ran for president. But this situation that he has going on with Maxwell and the Epstein files, I don't like the way it's being handled. It looks real suspicious to me, Chris. Now let me explain to you what I'm thinking and what other people are thinking. Okay, first of all, Donald Trump's lawyer goes to the jail facility in Florida to do an interview with this woman 2 times, on Thursday and then he went on Friday.
It was the the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche.
Okay, they've already said that's real strange for a deputy guy in his position to go to a jail facility and interview somebody. Okay, but yet he walks out of the interview both days.
Hold on 1 second though. Do you want to know something stranger? Is that they didn't interview her at all during the first trial and arrest.
Well, I'm not talking. I'm talking about what's going on right now. I don't know anything about the first deal, but what I'm concerned with, Chris, is the guy walks out of the meeting. He doesn't let people know what was talked about between him and her. We don't know anything about what the conversation was. And then guess what? Last Friday, and what they normally do on a news drop, because they know people are going to be occupied with the weekend. Late in the day on Friday, all of a sudden, you start hearing messages on these news channels saying that Maxwell has been moved to a new facility in Texas, a low-security facility. Now, what this looks like, Chris, is that a deal was worked out between Donald Trump and the Maxwell people. If she would keep quiet, if she wouldn't let all the information come out about Trump, that she would be. I don't think they're going to give her a pardon, but I think they promised her that they would move her to a new facility. This looks like a cover-up, Chris. How can you explain a woman being in a jail on a 20-year penalty, and then all of a sudden being moved to a low-security jail? That doesn't look good. What do you think about that?
I think you're jumping to a lot of assumptions. I really do. I mean, do you think that Trump is sending the deputy AG there to say, make sure Maxwell doesn't say anything about me?
Well, how come she's being moved to a new facility, Chris? Why is she being moved to a low-security facility?
I mean, it depends on the interview, right? But people cut deals all the time to give up information on bigger fish. You see it, you know. You pinch a drug dealer, and then he turns on the guy that's selling to him, and then he turns on the guy that's selling to him, and then he turns on the guy that's selling to him, and they do it to get a better deal. So
I'm trying to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. Like I say, I supported the man in the last 3 elections, but the optics of this just don't look right, you know, because all of a sudden this woman is being.
But you're operating from a stance of Donald Trump is trying to cover this up, and Donald Trump is in the files, and so you're doing a lot of you have a lot of confirmation bias. You're seeing what's unfolding, and it's confirming what you already believed, so therefore it has to be this way. And I think that confirmation bias is a dangerous thing. We don't have any idea what happened in the interview. I have a hard time believing that Trump is going to send his deputy AG down there, and with the explicit intent of making sure that she doesn't say anything about him. I still don't believe that Donald Trump is in those files. Now, did she give them good, actionable information on somebody else that led to a transfer? I think that would be far more likely. It's still Ghislaine Maxwell, so I take anything that she wants to say with a grain of salt, and I don't know how credible of a witness she is. But I'll be honest with you. the first thing that I thought was she's probably flipping on people, especially because there was no interview like this when she was originally arrested and went to trial.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one last question for you then, Chris, before I hang up with you. Okay. How come we can't hear from Maxwell? How come we can't hear a first-hand account? Why can't this woman speak to the news reporters or speak to some TV people to let people know what's going on? How come this woman can't speak to somebody?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine on that. Again, I would go back to how credible is she as a witness. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I don't know what the protocol is.
Okay. Well, like I say, I'm hoping that Donald Trump is innocent, but I'm just saying that the optics just doesn't look good. And I thank you for taking my call.
I think, and I appreciate you, Mike. You know that. But I just think that there's a lot of confirmation bias going on with you there. Just me. I mean, and to be fair, not out of the realm of possibility. I think it's a very, very low chance, like less than 1% of a chance. But I mean, there's a possibility, I guess. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. However, the inmates at Ghislaine Maxwell's new prison are pretty disgusted that she got transferred to the minimum security Club Fed lockup. New York Post has a story. Ghislaine Maxwell's new prison pals are disgusted that the notorious sex trafficker was quietly transferred to a cushy prison camp known as Club Fed last week. The convicted child sex pest was moved from a lockup in Florida to the minimum security prison camp in Bryan, Texas, as she tries to hash out a deal with the feds to spill secrets about her late pedophile ex, Jeffrey Epstein. Julie Howell, who's serving a 12-month stint for theft, told The Telegraph, "Every inmate I've heard from is upset she's here. This facility is supposed to house nonviolent offenders," she added. "Human trafficking is a violent crime. We've heard that there are threats against her life, and many of us are worried about our own safety because she's here. The Federal Bureau of Prisons hasn't given a reason why Ghislaine Maxwell was relocated. It came just days after she met with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche in an attempt to get an immunity, and a deal to divulge what she knows about Epstein. She's currently serving 20 years for helping Epstein groom and abuse underage girls. Her new prison currently houses well-known white-collar criminals, including one Elizabeth Holmes, the disgraced Theranos fraudster, convicted of ripping off investors. I have no idea who she is. Do you have any idea who she is? What is her name? Elizabeth Holmes? I don't know. Is that important? I don't know why they added that. It's like the last thing they have in the article. It doesn't make any sense why they added that. Anyway, people aren't happy that she's there. People are definitely curious as to why she was relocated. And I think that if you're under the impression that Ghislaine Maxwell is flipping on individuals and giving information to the Attorney General's office, you're doing confirmation bias. If you think that Donald Trump is guilty and he's on the files and that they moved her because they struck a deal for Donald Trump to give her immunity or give her a pardon, again, you're dealing in confirmation bias. We have no idea. We have no idea what happened in the interviews. We have no idea why she's been transferred. There's been no official word yet. However, I'm sure as the week goes on, we will get some more information that will make that picture a bit more clear. And I'm gonna remain hopeful. I will. In the meantime, the economy is roaring. However, the mainstream media news talking heads didn't want to talk about the economy doing so good with the GDP. They wanted to talk about the numbers lady that got fired. Yeah, the numbers lady. The jobs were 73,000. That was the number we got. There's been some revisions, been a lot of revisions when we were underneath Biden. And Trump has officially said to her, "You're fired. You're fired." And I'm here for it. I'm not mad about it at all. In fact, people are framing this as an anti-Trump thing. But I would point out she got all these numbers wrong for years and years under Biden too. Why should this individual keep her job? Anybody? Is there any good reason why she should keep her job? I don't think so. President Trump was asked about the woman that he fired. What was her name again? It was Commissioner Erica McIntarfer. Donald Trump was asked about it over the weekend during his interview on Newsmax, and he goes, "Yeah, she was pretty much incompetent. I don't really know how to say it any other way. She was completely incompetent."
Firing your a Biden appointee, the head of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, her name Dr. Erica McIntarfer. Tell us about what was going on here.
Well, it's a Biden appointee, and we've had problems in the past, and we had problems even before the election. You remember those wonderful results that were put out just before the election? And everybody said, where do they come from? Then I think they adjusted it after the election. And we had some difficulties with her, and there had been a lot of questions, and we fired her because we didn't believe the numbers today. Even though interest rates are too high, we have a terrible head of the Fed who keeps interest rates too high. And I could understand that, but I don't believe those numbers. I think because we're doing so well, and we fired her. This is not something from just now. This was before the election, where she got, meaning Kamala. We thought it was Biden, but it turned out being Kamala, where they got very, very strong numbers. I said, what's this all about? And they adjusted them, and then later on they adjust them, I guess, downward.
Now, this is the big point on this woman being fired. A lot of people are making the news, oh, Donald Trump didn't like his job numbers, so he fired the lady that counts the numbers. Oh, can you believe that? Donald Trump is so angry, and, he's taking it out on a Biden appointment. She was screwing up these numbers for years. Years she's been screwing up these numbers. This is nothing new. You can look at all the revisions that were done under Biden. You can look at the revisions and go, why are we revising this? And why are we releasing them if we're going to revise them anyway? Wait until you have the final tally and then release it. But it's been going on a long time. This isn't something Donald Trump did on a whim.
But we don't want that. We want straight numbers. I was thinking this morning when I saw the numbers, I said, who makes these numbers anyway? I never gave it much thought other than before the election, but it didn't work out too well, for them. I won the election, so maybe people don't believe it or whatever. But I was saying to myself, I wonder who does this. And when I checked, I said, this person is very suspect to me. So we fired.
So the accusation is this person was essentially cooking the books, and the numbers are not accurate.
Well, I think there's some strange things going on because just before the election, they came out with these great numbers. And I said, I don't believe those numbers. They weren't good. And then I believe they had to do some correcting a little bit after the election.
Yep.
But no, we don't want that. We don't want to take any chances. We don't want to play any games.
No, we don't want to play any games. The mainstream media, though, did want to play games, and the mainstream media brought this up over and over and over the weekend. They didn't bring up Russiagate. They didn't bring up the Epstein stuff. They brought this up constantly. Oh, how could you do that? Trump is just angry about his job numbers. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Trump actually makes the case that the economy is much stronger than anybody's giving him credit for. And to prove that, you just got to look at the GDP numbers, look at the investments that's coming in. We haven't even seen the fruit from that tree yet. This is Donald Trump.
You've had another incredible week that doesn't get the attention it probably should. There were several A-list events this week. The GDP numbers were great. Right. We had a surplus in June. Inflation is, I think, 2.4%. What's your message to Americans who might be concerned about paying more, perhaps even in the short term, for things that they need?
Well, before the message, I have to say that I think that these numbers were incorrect today. Not that they were horrible. I've seen much worse numbers than this, but right. I think that these numbers were incorrect today because nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw the smaller numbers not only announced, but going back and restating her numbers because she made a mistake. That was the bigger numbers. So I think they're wrong. Very importantly, we have prices down. We have energy way down. Inflation is almost non-existent. It's way down from what it was. They had the highest inflation, essentially in the history of our country. They say 48 years. I would say it's much beyond 48 years. The place was a mess.
June of 2022, it was over 9%.
Right. So
you left office, it was 1.4%.
That's correct. And now we have it down again. We brought it down. But prices are down. When I hear the Democrats, they come out with sound bites. They say, prices are up under Trump. No, they're way down. I brought them way down. Even eggs. You remember the first week, Rob, I went in and they said, eggs are up 4 or 5 times. It was like crazy what was happening with eggs. Don't buy eggs. I fixed that, and I fixed it rapidly before Easter and so many other things. But prices are actually way down. Prices are down for groceries. They're down for energy, oil. You see what's happening with oil?
Yeah, we see it. The mainstream media buries their head in the sand, though, and they're going to focus on the job numbers. They're going to focus on the statistician that was fired. We'll bring you some of that mainstream media audio from the weekend. Kevin Hassett was out there, Economic Council Director, and he was just fielding those questions. They kept throwing them at him. At a couple points, he got actually visibly annoyed with Kristen Welker. Is it Kristen or is it Kirsten? Doesn't matter. Meet the Press, NBC. What evidence do you have? She kept screaming. What evidence do you have that this woman needed to be fired? I'll bring you that when we get back. You're not going to want to miss it. 1022. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
New information about the man who's wanted for a quadruple murder in West Tennessee. And a local distillery is in trouble with its creditors. That and more coming up here at 10:30 at Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan Jones. 1026, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can find me all over the internet. I'm on Twitter, I'm on True Social, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on YouTube. All of them are the same, at Chris Hand on Air. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, all the things. Appreciate it when you do so. You want to join the show, 615-737-9986. Did I say it was brought to us by Better Water LLC? It is, if I forgot, betterwater.com. Why would you need that?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I mean, that's a good reason. Betterwater.com.
Pretty good reason.
Pretty good reason. Dude, I've been having to take care of this turtle. Like my kids, I don't know if you know this.
I don't know this.
If you find a turtle at the lake, it's free.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. My parents love that fact.
I told the kids the same thing about the ducks, but they get away. You know? So then that's how it started. I would always joke with the kids, if you can catch a bird, it's free.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
Free technology.
Yeah, if you catch a bird, it's free. You can bring it home. And the kids would be occupied because they'd be chasing the birds. They never catch them, and it's a win. Well, they applied the same principles to a turtle down at the lake, and now that the family's away, I've been having to feed this turtle like crazy.
What you feeding it?
Turtle food.
Thanks for specificity.
Pizza. I'm teaching him karate. he's gonna grow up and be a Ninja Turtle.
Gonna move to New York.
Yeah. So I've had some free time.
That's fair. That's fair. Video editing and training a turtle.
That's it. That's
to
all I've been
defend
doing.
New York City from the Democrats.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. We got a lot to get to. Real quick though, Kevin Hassett. He's been spending a lot of time over the weekend defending the economic policy of President Donald J. Trump. He's been defending the firing of that. What would you call her? Is it a statistician?
That's the best.
I think the official title would be numbers lady.
Number cruncher.
He fired the number cruncher. That's a good one. I don't want to be called misogynistic by saying numbers lady.
Yeah.
Plus, it's 2025.
Numbers person.
I can't assume anything.
No, absolutely not.
Assume anything. So he's been having to defend it. Kevin Hassett has, and Kirsten Welker, whatever her name is, and again, not important to the story, but she kept pushing him on the numbers and on firing that woman, and she's like, "What's your evidence? What's your evidence that she should have been fired?" And Kevin Hassett just calmly tells her, "The revisions, all the revisions are the evidence."
Just to be very clear, does the administration have any evidence that it was rigged, as the president said? And will you be presenting that to the American public?
Well, the evidence is that there have been a bunch of revisions that could appear to partisans. Well, I mean, the revisions are hard evidence. There, for example, there was a 818,000 revision making the Joe Biden job record a lot worse that came out after he withdrew from the presidential campaign.
Total coincidence, though. Total coincidence. That wasn't deliberate at all, right? It's just a coincidence. Happy little accident.
Coincidence? I think not.
It's a happy little accident. You know what Bob Ross does with happy little accidents? He makes pretty little trees. You know what I mean?
There have been a bunch of patterns that could make people wonder, and I think the most important thing for people to know is that it's the president's highest priority that the data be trusted and that people get to the bottom of why these revisions are so unreliable.
Yeah. Well, what's your evidence? The revisions? The revisions are Are you going to present that evidence to the American? It has been presented to the American public. That's the evidence. He had a lot more to say about the numbers, and we'll bring it to you when we get back. 10:30 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. The man wanted for a quadruple murder in West Tennessee may have fled the state. New documents filed by the U.S. Marshals Service says that they've been tracking his movements since last being seen in Jackson, Tennessee. And they believe 28-year-old Austin Drummond has crossed state lines. There is a $17,000 reward for information that leads to his arrest. Drummond is considered armed and dangerous. And an update to a story that broke on Friday. 4 men who were wanted for the attempted heist of a Murfreesboro ATM machine have been arrested. News 2 says the 4 were spotted in Arkansas.
The crime happened at a Murfreesboro gas station. 4 men took off from the scene. They left behind a 5th suspect who was shot and killed by a customer. Murfreesboro police issued a nationwide alert for the getaway car. Later, Arkansas state troopers spotted the vehicle and took the men into custody.
Now, the 4 men were reportedly headed home to Texas when they were caught. They'll be extradited to Tennessee to face charges. Uncle Nearest Distillery is being sued big time. Court documents show Farm Credit Mid-America has accused the owners, Fawn and Keith Weaver, of defaulting on more than $100 million in loans and misusing using funds. Uncle Nearest has been in default since early last year, according to the lawsuit, and has consented to the appointment of a receiver. That's the latest news. Weather is up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
$10:36, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We got Mason Fleming producing. We got Ken Weaver back in the newsroom. And we got you guys on the text line and the phone line, 615-737-9986. If you haven't seen my BNA hole video, you gotta go. I know, it's weird. If you didn't catch the BN, it's... throws you off. It's on my Instagram page at Chris Hand.
Is the BN real small?
It should be. It should be. I've been messing around with video editing all weekend, and I made a really super cheesy, just dumb BNA hole video. It's up there. It's up there if you want it.
Yeah, it's coming to YouTube this afternoon. I'm excited.
It's there for the taking. I got a text from Pamela Furr over the weekend.
Oh, really?
And she said that, like, all these people are calling it the BNA hole now.
Nice.
Like, even people close to the project are calling it the BNA hole.
Let's go.
You stamped it, dude.
Shout out to Mario.
Let's go, Mario.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wahoo.
Credit where credit's due. But I'm not sharing any money on the T-shirts I make.
They're my T-shirts.
I slid through the BNA hole. That's what it's going to say. That's what it's going to say. So looking forward to that. I'm going to make a lot of money on those T-shirts. Make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
I just need the energy and the will to actually do it.
That's fair.
That's what I need. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there hawking T-shirts. I hope I do a good job. I hope I do as good of a job as, ready for this radio segue, as President Trump is with the economy.
Ooh.
You like that? It's so
That's pretty good.
So dumb. All right, so President Trump on the former BLS commissioner, he said we had difficulties with her. She kept revising the numbers down. We've seen that over and over. We saw that during the Biden administration constantly. It was damn near infuriating when it happened with Biden, because a lot of times we knew that his job numbers were being inflated by government jobs, and Donald Trump's not doing that. Donald Trump also isn't counting illegal aliens in jobs. That's not happening. So we're seeing a bit of contraction in the job numbers, but I think that's part of the growing pains. We also haven't seen this economy at full strength yet. We haven't completed the reshoring of our manufacturing base. We haven't started taking full advantage of those EU trade deals, the Japan trade deal, the Korea trade deal. Trade deals look great. We're opening up these markets, so we're not even there yet. You've heard car companies are ramping up production. You've seen the factories coming back, but those jobs haven't shown up in these reports yet. They just haven't. For everybody that's panicking, give it a few months, and then let's look at the job reports numbers. After, $17 trillion has been invested into this country. Let's hold our horses, and let's wait and see what happens with the job numbers. 73, Trump said, it's not the worst I've seen. Not great, but it's not the worst I've seen. But the incredible week, not getting the attention it deserves. Donald Trump weighed in on it yesterday. This is on Newsmax. And he said, yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely not getting the credit that it deserves. When you look at all the things in totality, this economy is doing pretty solid.
You've had another incredible week that doesn't get the attention it probably should. There were several A-list events this week. The GDP numbers were great. Right. We had a surplus in June. Inflation is, I think, 2.4%. What's your message to Americans who might be concerned about paying more, perhaps even in the short term, for things that they need?
I mean, the message is don't be a panicking, right? The message is that we've seen this movie before, time and time again. The Democrats are going to highlight the negative. They're going to root for the country to fail. Don't panic. Don't panic. I think the stock market's already bounced back today. Don't panic. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett, he was all over the news shows this weekend. They didn't want to talk about Obamagate, but they were happy to talk about the jobs numbers because they could use it as a bludgeon to hurt Trump. But Kevin Hassett doesn't take any grief from these individuals, and he broke it down in a way that everybody can understand.
What we've seen over the last few years is massive revisions to the jobs numbers. In fact, they were extremely reliable, the kind of numbers that you want to guide policy decisions and markets through COVID. And then when COVID happened, because response rates went down a lot, then revision rates skyrocketed, so that the typical monthly revision often was bigger than the number itself. And now we had a number that just came out. The actual number for the month wasn't so bad, but the 2 months before were revised down by more than had ever happened since 1968. And in 2015, Alan Greenspan and I were asked to attend a conference at BLS where we were asked to give advice about how to modernize the data. And we warned that if they didn't try to let the data collection and calculation keep up with the data that was happening in the economy, that we would have problems like this. And finally, in the UK, they had a very similar problem. And in 2023, they had to, for a while, shut down the data agency in the UK for the same kinds of problems.
So these problems aren't unique to us, but it's a problem nonetheless. And it was a much larger problem under Biden. I mean, after Joe Biden dropped out of that presidential race, they revised the job numbers down and Kevin Hassett has the numbers. He's a numbers guy. 818,000
There was a 818,000 revision making the Joe Biden job record a lot worse that came out after he withdrew from the presidential campaign. There have been a bunch of patterns that could make people wonder, and I think the most important thing for people to know is that it's the president's highest priority that the data be trusted and that people get to the bottom of why these revisions are so unreliable.
Yeah, we just want to trust the data. I mean, that's all the American people want with all of our institutions. And it does appear that just about every single institution during the Biden administration was just trashed. It's so hard to trust any of these institutions anymore. And you can point to the left, you can point to the Democrats and say, that's on you guys. That's on you guys. Meanwhile, the left takes a reasonable answer from Kevin Hassett, and they absolutely melt down. Robert Reich was on MSNBC over the weekend, and he said by firing the number counter lady, what Donald Trump did, he committed treason, which is, it actually tickles me pink. This was on MSNBC. It makes me laugh hysterically because of all the discussions that we could have on treason over the weekend on these the talking head news shows, we didn't have that conversation about Obama. We had the conversation about Trump.
And by shooting the messenger, you get a country that no longer has the kind of confidence in the information it gets.
I love that. Oh, he shot the messenger. He shot the messenger. And now we don't have confidence. The messenger has been revising her message for years. You heard Kevin Hassett. They revised it down by 818,000 jobs. Now, were they just off? Was it a happy little accident? Or were they inflating those numbers to make Joe Biden look better? I mean, one has to ask. I think it would probably be the latter. He says, don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. This has been going on for years.
From very, very competent, very competent places. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is the crown jewel of our data sources in the government for what is happening in the economy. If
that's the crown jewel and you're revising jobs down by 818,000 the moment Biden says he's not going to run for re-election, how much of a crown jewel is it?
It's like the Federal Reserve Board. Trump attacks the Fed because he doesn't like what the Fed is doing, and he is undermining the public's faith in these institutions. This is, in my book, this is treasonous.
Oh, okay. All right. You fire the numbers lady who gets the numbers wrong all the time, and you know what that is? It's treason. Treason with a capital T. What's the penalty for treason? Is that what he's advocating for? Is that what Robert Reich is advocating for? It sounds like it. They don't want to have any discussions about the actual treason that went on in this country. They don't want to have any conversations about the actual seditious conspiracies that we've seen unfold in real time via Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and the like. No. But you fire that numbers lady, and you committed treason. Okay. Do you think he believes that, or do you think he's just hoping to get a call back to do another hit on MSNBC down the road? And the more outlandish things he says, the more likely he is to get that call back. Probably the latter. It's treason. It's treason. Meanwhile, the president is just raking in trade deals. Again, he went on vacation and came back with $1 trillion. Joe Biden, I don't even think Joe Biden could pick up a sunburn if he tried. This is Kevin Hassett on the trade deals that we've seen via President Trump.
We have 8 deals that cover about 55% of world GDP with our biggest trading partners, the EU and Japan and Korea and so on. And I expect that those matters are more or less locked in, although there'll have to be some dancing around the edges about exactly what we mean when we do this or that. For the deals that aren't ready yet, they're going to get the reciprocal rates soon. And then we would expect that there might continue to be negotiations with those countries.
I love it because he fired the numbers lady, so he committed treason. I wonder how much time MSNBC dedicated to the fact that the European Union laughed them out of the room, and then Trump's negotiating tactics paid off in the long run. No, they won't. But we keep going. We keep pushing ahead. And this economy is going to be cooking with gas real soon by opening up these markets. And we're going to have Americans making more money. I made the joke last week, but I mean it. I can't wait to see a tiny little Korean guy driving a Ford F-150. It's something that we've never seen before. But that's the bonus of opening up these markets. We're going to sell more cars. We're going to sell more American goods all over the world.
The president likes those deals. The Europeans like those deals. And they're absolutely historically wonderful deals. Think about it. We've got Europe agreeing to open their markets to our products so our farmers, our small businessmen can sell stuff in Europe like they never could before. And they're letting us charge a 50% tariff, which is going to raise maybe about $100 billion a year.
It's insane. But the left has nothing good to say about this. Why would they? They're not going to tout the president's accomplishments. But they all understand what's going on. They, as much as they hate him, they know that Trump is making the right calls. They know that nobody else could execute on these kinds of deals because if they could, they would have. And they haven't. They haven't. Now, there's a couple big countries out there that have not made a trade deal with us. China and India. And a lot of people are asking questions about a lot of that. Stephen Miller was asked about India over
the president likes those deals. The Europeans like those deals.
Sorry, Kevin. We already talked to you, Kevin. Thank you. This is Stephen Miller over the weekend on Maria Bartiromo.
Of our closest friends in the world, but they don't accept our products. They impose massive tariffs on us. We also know they engage in a lot of cheating on immigration policies that is.
And the video froze. He's talking about India, and he says, yeah, they portray themselves as being a good friend. They talk a big game. But in reality, they don't accept our products. In reality, they impose a ton of tariffs on us. And in reality, they're cheating on immigration policy. You've seen it with the H-1B visas. Donald Trump actually took to Truth Social, this was about an hour ago, saying India is not only buying massive amounts of Russian oil, they are then, for much of the oil purchased, selling it on the open market for big profits. They don't care how many people in Ukraine are being killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the USA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Whew. India's in some trouble. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with India. On the other side, we got China. And U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer, he went on CBS's Face the Nation to talk about the China trade deal and what we can expect coming from that, when we can expect it, and what trade talks have progressed recently.
Did you get any commitments in those 2 days of talks in Stockholm?
So yes, we did. Yes, we talked about, and I won't go into detail because they're confidential conversations between two governments, but they really focused on rare earth magnets and minerals. China has put a global control on the world, and so for the United States, we're focused on making sure that the flow of magnets from China to the United States and the adjacent supply chain can flow as freely as it did before the control. And I'd say we're about halfway there.
Halfway there. That's good. That's good. I mean, one of the reasons that we need to reshore is because of our over-dependence on China. And it does seem like the administration is taking a cautious approach to the negotiations with China because we're not really in a position to have that kind of leverage. I mean, if they cut off the medicine, we're not at full strength yet. I imagine that these trade talks with China are going to get a lot tougher as we get a bit later into this term and past midterms when we see the reshoring of our manufacturing base take hold. I think that'll give Donald Trump a bit more leverage. We'll see what happens, though. But most countries in the world, they got a tariff assigned to them, says Jameson Greer, our U.S. trade representative.
Most countries in the world, they just have a tariff assigned to them, right? Whether it's...
It'll be the 10% or 15%.
10 or 15 or the higher level tariff. Because, again, when the president is looking at this, he looks at potential deals, and we bring him potential concessions from countries and the things they might want to do, and he compares that to the potential tariff that might be applied to try to get that deficit down. And then talking to his advisors, he makes a call on this. And sometimes a country will come back and make additional concessions that make it more appropriate. He's trying to get at the deficit. He's trying to reshore manufacturing.
That's what it's about, making America stronger than it has been. And we need to get back to that place. That's what Donald Trump is focused on. Meanwhile, this guy's walking and he's chewing gum, okay? We have the economy going like this. We also have a lot of investigations kicking up. A lot of investigations. You hear who's being investigated now? Jack Smith. Ooh. We call him Hack Smith around here. He's the most interesting man in the world. We had a lot of fun with Hack Smith back in the day. This is before your time. I was with Mac Morey.
Yeah, that's way before me.
That's way before you. The Hack Smith stuff. We had some good chuckles over that. And we're going to have some good chuckles over him being investigated. I'll bring you that story when we return. It's 10:52. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at United Structural Systems. You know them as USS. I told you on Friday. I said if you're ignoring the waterproofing problem, we got rain headed our way, and well, sure enough, we had a lot of rain yesterday. And if you had that waterproofing issue, it's back. There's water in the crawl space. There's water in the basement. There's damp walls. Don't ignore it. Sure, it's going to get warm again. The water's going to dry up, but when the rain comes back, so does the issue. Time to fix it once and for all. If you don't, it's only going to get worse. I mean, that water in your crawl space and in your basement is going to lead to mold, wood rot, foundation issues. Don't do that. Do what 30,000 homeowners in Middle Tennessee did. Call United Structural Systems. Whether it's foundation repair or waterproofing, they're going to send their best, not a sales guy. They're sending an expert, not somebody worried about their quota. That's a key difference. Whether it's foundation repair or waterproofing, USS is the company to call. They'll stand behind their warranties, and they've been in the game for 30 years. They're the experts. 615-488-7855 if you see the signs. 615-488-7855, USSTN.com.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
The reward for information leading to the arrest of quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond is growing. This story and more coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Ooh, what's the reward?
It's over 17 grand.
Hey, what was the reward for the noose at Nissan Stadium?
That was 250 grand.
Oh. So a noose gets more of a reward than a murder. Is that what we're doing?
That appears to be the case when it comes to that.
It's a little weird, right?
Yeah, but they never paid it out.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. It was just talking points.
Yeah. Now they got another little issue over there.
I know. Racist graffiti. What? But they didn't show us what the graffiti was, right?
No.
Like, imagine if the graffiti was just something that said "Hire American." Right? Like,
Yeah.
It could, for all we know, it could be. I don't know. I'd love to see a picture of it.
It's just kind of an odd coinkadink that,
Racist
one
graffiti.
was a nothing burger and now this.
It's a happy little accident. Happy little accident. We'll turn into some happy little trees. It's 10:59, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. You can watch us all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and more. The OSC has Special Counsel Jack Smith under a microscope regarding the possibility that he violated the Hatch Act, which says government workers are not allowed to take part in certain political activities. Fox News reported this on Saturday, noting it received confirmation of the probe from the office and that Smith is not being criminally investigated. The OSC, it's a government watchdog, operates independently as a federal investigative and prosecutorial office. In July, Senator Tom Cotton asked its members to investigate whether Smith, who is special counsel for Attorney General Merrick Garland, engaged in unlawful political activity to influence the 2024 presidential election. Yeah, obviously. This story is interesting, though. We'll bring you a little bit more of it when we get back. Plus, I got some updates on immigration. Violence continues to be escalating when it comes to our ICE agents. It's disgraceful. And when you find out what happened to one ICE agent, you might be as angry as I am. Plus, we have video confirmation that the immigration policies of Donald J. Trump are lightening the load, not just on our roads, bridges, highways, but also in our hospitals. Yeah, one liberal took to TikTok to admit what we've been saying for years. If it wasn't for the illegal aliens, our infrastructure would be able to handle what's coming at it. I'll bring you that when we return. 11 o'clock, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. The manhunt for Austin Drummond, the suspect in the quadruple murder case in West Tennessee, is still ongoing. Channel 4's Courtney Allen has something.
Drummond is a member of a gang, according to a 2020 letter from the district attorney of Madison County. And he has a violent criminal history, having served a full sentence for aggravated robbery and racking up other charges while in prison. He was out on bond at the time of the murders.
He had some drug charges that we indicted him for, and then shortly after that, he actually was charged and indicted in Lake County for attempted murder, attempted first-degree murder, which took place inside the prison.
While Drummond remains at large, 2 cars tied to him have been found, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has arrested 2 men they believe helped him.
2 individuals, Tanaka Brown and Javante Thomas, were arrested. They're charged with accessory after the fact of first-degree murder for allegedly assisting Drummond. Brown faces an additional charge of tampering with evidence. U.S. Marshal Service and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation have increased the reward for information leading to Drummond's arrest to a total of $17,500. A Tennessee man facing attempted murder and weapons charges after deputies say they found 14 homemade bombs in his house. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
The Polk County Sheriff's Office says that deputies went to Kevin Wade O'Neill's home to arrest him on earlier charges of threatening public officials, and they noticed something smoldering in the bedroom. They say O'Neill tried to detonate one of the devices. As officers arrived, everyone was okay. O'Neill is now in the county jail.
Chattanooga Police Department bomb squad and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives responded. In New York State, Governor Kathy Hochul hosted a number of Texas Democratic state lawmakers who fled the state over the weekend in an attempt to break the quorum for a special legislative session where Republicans look to pass a new congressional map that would give new GOP seats, a plan Democrats are labeling as gerrymandering.
These brave public servants are taking a stand, a strong stand, against a blatant power grab that's happening in their state as we speak.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott previously said if the lawmakers do not return to Austin for this afternoon's vote, he will invoke a legal opinion by the Texas Attorney General and take steps to, quote, remove the missing Democrats from membership in the Texas House. And Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace has declared a candidacy for governor of South Carolina. This reporter for WJCL, Lydia Blackstone, is outside the Citadel where Mace is set to formalize that announcement today.
Only fitting that she does it here at the Citadel, her alma mater, where she was the first female graduate. Congresswoman Nancy Mace has posted videos to her social media with the end screen saying Mace for governor. The representative has been a longtime supporter of President Trump. Her policies have been controversial with anti-transgender legislation, pro-strict immigration laws, and a call for the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. She's also supported a robust funding for the Department of Defense as she's the daughter of an Army general.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. It's 11:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to the show anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. Help us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. It will help every single host on this radio station, so we appreciate it when you do so. Net migration may be negative for the first time in 50 years. Well, that's according to CNN.
How about net migration in the United States? Get this, it's down. It's going to be down at least 60%. we may be dealing with, get this, negative net migration to the United States in 2025. That would be the first time there is negative net migration in this country in at least 50 years. We're talking about down from 2.8 million in 2024. So Donald Trump has always run on tariffs, and he's run on a hawkish line on immigration. And on both of those issues, we are seeing record high tariff rates for this century going all the way back, well back into the early part of the 20th century. And when it comes to immigration, net migration, we are seeing record low levels, way down from where we were during the Biden administration. We are potentially looking at negative net migration for the first time in at least 50 years.
It's insane. Absolutely insane. And you have to also understand the benefits that are coming to American society because of this. We talked about it, I think it was a couple weeks ago now, but a lot of individuals reporting, man, there's no traffic in L.A. Oh, weird. I wonder why that would be. They say, they'll tell you it's because of Donald Trump's fear campaign. Oh, the migrants, they're afraid to leave. They're afraid to go outside. I would say that the infrastructure is built for the amount of American citizens that we have, and if the illegal aliens are there, you're crowding it. We're not built for that. And whether it's the roads, bridges, highways, or whether it's our hospitals. This video was going viral. Wall Street Apes posted it on X, and it's an ER nurse from Los Angeles. And she's making a video to emotionally manipulate you and make you feel bad. But when I watched the video, my instant reaction was like, wow, all right. So it's working. The plan is working. This is actually a very, very good thing, despite how much this ER nurse from LA wants you to think it's a bad thing.
Just got off my 12-hour shift at one of LA County's easiest hospitals and ERs. And you guys, our waiting room is just empty, like 4 patients max, like every hour. And as much as a healthcare worker enjoys a slow day, it's actually pretty scary. Like, I know that a lot of patients are just scared to seek medical care right now, and it's just really sad, the circumstances that we are in right now. And it just scares me for the results of this after, because a lot of patients are going to hold off to not seek medical care, and they're going to come back 10 times sicker. And I just want to urge anybody who has any family members who are experiencing any serious symptoms to encourage them to seek medical care. Hospitals are supposed to be safe spaces, and we are there to protect our patients and care for them regardless of who they are, and where they come from. So it's just a PSA. Please, please, please educate anybody who is scared to seek medical care to seek it if necessary.
Oh, thank you for the PSA. She's talking about illegal aliens. That's what she's talking about. And while I don't want somebody who needs to go to the hospital to not go to the hospital, it does prove the point that we've been making for years. You are running down our critical infrastructure with illegal aliens and non-citizens. And the illegal aliens go to the ER because they're not going to a primary care physician because they don't have health insurance. And when they don't have health insurance, who gets stuck with the bill? You. You do. Now, this is Los Angeles, but this is actually a good thing. This is a good thing. Now, I made the point, maybe we need illegal aliens. A lot of illegal aliens are off the road in Los Angeles, and it's helping with traffic congestion as well. But this is a big deal. But we still need to keep the foot on the gas, no pun intended, with removing these illegal aliens. I saw a story, it really did, made me sick to my stomach. Illegal alien who had multiple DUIs, multiple. He was not deported for them. This happened in New Jersey. He had gotten a DUI arrest, 2 of them, one in March of 2025, one in April of 2025. And he also had a domestic violence arrest in 2023, Raul Luna Perez. Okay? He's been living in New Jersey since 2023, federal sources told the New York Post. He's been arrested for DUIs twice, not deported. Sanctuary city, right? Sanctuary state. Well, his 3rd DUI happened over the weekend. And in his 3rd DUI, he killed a mother and a young daughter. So maybe Donald Trump is right with his immigration policy. Maybe we need to go harder. And shout out to our brave ICE agents who put themselves in the line of fire every day to remove these criminal illegal aliens off the street. I saw a video, this is from ICE in San Diego. They posted this. This is just a day in the life of an ICE agent.
My name's Officer Job. I'm with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We're just like anybody else. We all have families. This is our job. We get up every morning, gear up, go out, and try to make our streets safer, just like any other law enforcement agency out there. Well, a lot of people think that we're just driving up to people, snatching people out of their vehicles or out of their homes and deporting them at that time. That's not true. We're out here picking up child molesters, rapists, people that have kidnapped people, people that have done heinous crimes against our citizens here. This is our job. We're the only agency that deals with immigration matters. No other agency deals specifically with immigration matters. This is a day in the life of an ICE officer.
I mean, it's a cool video, and you realize that these guys are just normal people. Normal people. They want to go home. I mean, at the end of the day, they just want to get home to their wife and their kids. And because of the rhetoric from the left, it does seem like we're quickly approaching a spot where we're going to see an ICE agent not able to go home. And the violence keeps escalating. This happened at an operation in Colorado. It's insane. Just a couple weeks ago, was it the mayor of Denver or the governor of Colorado? I can't recall which one it was, but they said, oh, the ICE operations aren't going to happen in California like they happen in California because, well, we don't get violent. And it's like, oh, is that so? Because I have this story here where the exact opposite happened. 2 people tried to ram a vehicle into ICE agents during an operation in Colorado.
Fired situation during an immigration enforcement operation in Colorado Springs. Federal immigration officers are looking for 2 people who they say allegedly rammed an ICE vehicle in El Paso County and left the scene. ICE says an officer fired 3 shots into that vehicle and that the 2 people are in the country illegally. This video is from Air Tracker 7 over the scene in Black Forest near Colorado Springs. It's unclear right now if anyone was shot.
I mean, I hope the illegal alien that tried to ram his car into the ICE agents caught one of those bullets, to be perfectly honest with you. It's insane. But this is the rhetoric of the left that's giving individuals feel like they have the green light to do this. The rhetoric calling ICE agents Nazis and Gestapo, and we've seen it, over 800% increase in violence against ICE. The crackdown's coming, though. Donald Trump and his administration are not going to sit idly by, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents and other federal agents and officers, as they attempt to enforce U.S. immigration law, they're increasingly coming under physical attack. Breitbart has this story. Recent arrests related to the assaults may be a sign that the federal government has had enough of the rising trend of violent assaults on federal immigration officers. On Friday, Gregory K. Bovino, commander of Operation at Large California and current chief of El Centro Border Patrol Sector, highlighted the service of an arrest warrant on a United States citizen accused of assaulting federal agents involved in enforcing immigration laws. Bovino posted a video on X of the Border Patrol's highly trained BORTAC Special Operations Group swiftly arresting the suspect, who is alleged to have spit on agents as they attempted to conduct deportation operations in Los Angeles. I'm a huge fan of this. If you're going to get in ICE's way, you should be arrested. They did. They posted a video of it. I'll play it for you on the stream in case you're watching along with us on Super Talk TV, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble.
Am I an angel or devil?
But this ICE operation, I mean, these guys are going hard. You see this? Who's ever doing social media over at DHS and ICE, top notch. I mean, it's insane. Good for them. Arrest anybody that's assaulting ICE agents, even if it is just spit. Send a message. Send a message. Because you know who they're going after? They're going after the most vile and dangerous people out there. I saw a video over the weekend. It's insane. This is at a Virginia mall, okay? A young girl, Fair Oaks Mall in Virginia, young girl almost abducted by an illegal alien. By the grace of God, the mother saw what happened and intervened and saved the kid. And Lord knows what would have happened to that kid if the illegal alien got away with it. I'll play the video for you. This is on the stream. You'll hear the breakdown on the radio.
Doubt. Watch closely. He followed shortly behind her and then casually picked her up. He walked out of view and into a nearby store with the little girl in his arms.
Now, just mind you, the people that are going after animals like this are being called Nazis and Gestapo. Now, this story didn't end as tragically as some of the stories we've heard, but it very well could have. Like, 1,000% could have. And the people that stop animals like this are being called Nazis and the Gestapo.
News 4 obtained a criminal complaint. It said the girl's father was in the play area with her sibling and didn't realize she'd walked out. Her mother actually happened to be in the store that the suspect wandered into. She noticed the man with her child, confronted him, and he gave the girl up and took off. Fairfax County Police eventually arrested him. His name is Andreas Caceres Jalden.
Oh, yeah. I wonder where he's from. This is who the left would want to have in our country, be welcomed, give them a free cell phone, give them a free ride to a city of their choosing, give them free rides to work, give them free housing, give them free food. This is the newcomer. If you're watching on the stream, I want you to look at this individual's face. This is the face of a Joe Biden newcomer. And when we try to get these people out of our country, we're called racist, bigots, and xenophobic, all the things, all the things. It's insane. Yet you still have Democrats calling to defund ICE. You do. One Democrat in particular, her name is Delia Ramirez. I have no idea why she would want to defund ICE, but yet she's making calls for that.
It's time to escalate or fight back or push back against this fascist government. That's right. It's time for us to reconsider what ICE is all about.
We have to defund ICE. We have to escalate. Where does she think this rhetoric is going to go? The guys that are taking child molesters and child abductors and rapists and murderers off the streets. We have to defund them. Okay. We'll see. I mean, they're everywhere. Jeanine Pirro, Judge Jeanine, who was formerly on the Five. First off, she's been confirmed as a U.S. attorney, which is awesome. But she said that they found an illegal alien working on the grounds at the Capitol as a gardener. Like, this is how overreaching this issue is. Listen to this.
Hi, Jeanine Pirro here, U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. I just want to invite you into my day to let you in on a little interesting case. We have an individual who is a four-time deportee. That means he's been deported 4 times. He's also an aggravated felon. Many felony convictions, that's why he was deported. But he managed to make it back. He is, in fact, working on Capitol Hill. He's not only working on Capitol Hill, he is working outside and apparently is involved working the grounds as a gardener or something. So we, with ICE, have been trying to arrest the individual. We are not allowed to go on Capitol Hill to make an arrest. We've been told that we're not allowed to do that. So ICE has been waiting for 8 hours to arrest this individual, and we're coming to the end of his shift, and he goes inside and suddenly he's not available for an arrest. Now, ain't that swell?
I wonder who helped him out. This is what we're dealing with. This is the insanity that's happening in our country. 4-time deported felon, violent felon, working as a gardener at Capitol Hill. What? And then they can't go arrest him. Insane. It's funny. You hear the Democrats say, when are we going to escalate this fight? And I kind of think the same thing. When are we going to go, screw you, we're going to go get him anyway? I think we're quickly approaching that point, don't you? It's 11:21. My name is Chris Hand. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's going on? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. And if you're tired of back or knee pain or neck pain ruining your life, well, listen up because this could change everything for you. The Big Daddy Trump special still going on. Just $12 from the Wellness Institute of Nashville will land you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. All of that, you're right, for only $12. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley aren't going to give up on finding a solution to your pain, just like President Trump never gave up on America. That's why they got the BDT, the Big Daddy Trump special. Back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs, they'll treat it all with non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, and even anti-gravity machines. What you're not going to find is surgery, you're not going to find painkillers, and you're not going to find injections. Grab your MRI and get ready to finally understand your condition and fix it. Call the Wellness Institute of Nashville today, 615-246-5009. That's 615-246-5009. I'm Chris Hand, and the Wellness Institute of Nashville has my seal of approval on this deal that could change your life. Painisbad.com.
Another effort to stop the execution of Tennessee death row inmate Byron Black that's scheduled for tomorrow. We've got the latest on that and other top stories at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. It's 11:27, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. If you're watching the show, hit like, hit subscribe on whatever platform you're on, or hit share. We do appreciate it. I got a lot of kids, and it helps us, feed them. Pretty much it. If you want the kids to eat bread and water, don't hit like and don't hit subscribe. It's really on you at that point. I did my part, right?
You're right. I told them to hit the like earlier because they need to make it home from D.C.
Yeah, you got to hit like. Got to get the kids home from D.C. I do have an update from D.C. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So they hopped on the train this morning.
Okay.
Took the train so it's my wife, her parents, and then my 4 kids. So 3, 6, 8, and 11. Okay. So they take the train up to D.C. and I'm getting pictures now. They're at the National Mall.
That's cool.
You ready for this though? So I said, "Wow, the kid's loving it," and I got these pictures, great pictures. And I said, especially Brooks. Tell me about Brooks because I love the guy, right? So she goes,
I sure hope so.
No, but you're gonna understand why. You're gonna understand why in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
My wife said, lots of anti-Trump on the National Mall. Brooks wants you to convert them. Then she says, anytime he sees a liberal, he keeps yelling Trump. and then my oldest, I guess there's like some tent with a bunch of liberals there.
Oh, interesting.
And she said Kennedy walked up to the tent and prayed over them to repent.
So repent is so good.
Repent. Okay. Repent.
That's so funny.
So good. So it's 2 sides of the spectrum there. I got, it's like inside me there are 2 wolves. I got the one guy who's like, Trump, whatever, talk to the hand. And then I got the other one's like, I'm going to pray over you and hope that this darkness leaves your heart.
Repent.
Please repent.
Makes sense.
That's what's going on in D.C. We'll provide you with any updates as they become available. But if you hit like and subscribe, the kids get to do a lot more fun stuff.
Yeah. But hit the like so they can get out of the swamp whenever they're ready.
Yeah. Speaking of, taking planes, trains, and automobiles places, the Democrats that fled Texas, okay, you ready for this? They fled Texas to Illinois. And I don't know if you ever looked at an Illinois congressional map. Charlie Kirk posted one. And, let me find that for you real quick. It's you flee Texas over redistricting, right? And then you go to Illinois, which I don't know if you've looked at the map. Okay, here, put it on the screen. Charlie Kirk posted this. He said, Texas Democrats decided to protest new district maps by fleeing to, check notes, Illinois? Question mark. Because when you look at Illinois, you can completely see that they have redistricted Republicans in that state, so that way the Democrats win all the time, right? So it's hilarious. But the plane that they fled on, Benny Johnson posted this. The Texas Democrats fled their state in a $47 million Embraer ERJ 170 jet. This jet costs $17,000 per hour to operate. That means the flight to Chicago cost the taxpayers $100,000. $100,000.
That's nuts.
For them to flee and avoid the vote on redistricting. It's going to happen whether they like it or not. Right? You can run, but this is going to be waiting for you when you get back. It's 11:31. Lightning round on deck. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tennessee death row inmate Byron Black's son delivered a petition to Governor Lee today to stop tomorrow's execution. It was hand-delivered. Black shot and killed his girlfriend and her 2 daughters back in the 80s. Black's son, Samson Childs, is asking the death penalty be commuted and switched to life without parole. Advocates say Black has an intellectual disability and that makes his execution illegal. The state Supreme Court has ruled Black's pacemaker cannot be turned off before tomorrow's execution. 2018 Waffle House killer Travis Reinking is asking a judge for a new trial. He was initially found incompetent to stand trial, but that was changed, and he was found guilty of murdering 4 people and sentenced to life without parole. And the manhunt for quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond is its 7th day. Authorities now think he may have left the state. Here's Channel 4's Amanda Hara, who says 5 years ago a parole board warned against granting Drummond freedom, saying he was incapable of living among society. Last week, a 7-month-old was found strapped into a car seat, left in a stranger's front yard. The baby's parents, uncle, and a grandparent found murdered 40 miles away in another county.
Well, last week, this all started when a baby girl was found strapped in a car seat in a stranger's driveway. Her parents, uncle, and grandmother were later found dead in a wooded area in a different county. Sources say that Drummond previously dated someone in the family, and that was the connection. They say he's also a known gang member. In a 2020 letter from the Madison County District Attorney, it warned that Drummond could be a threat if he was paroled. At the time, he was in prison for the armed robbery of a gas station. He was actually out on bond at the time of the quadruple murder. If you see him, do not approach. He's considered armed and dangerous. Contact police.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, and I love the guys over at Busy Bee. You will too, especially if you need a new HVAC unit. These guys are going to make it so easy for you and painless. How does 0% financing with payments as low as $100 a month sound? Well, that's going to be yours with approved credit, and Busy Bee is going to do it all for you. Now, if you buy a new HVAC system, you'll get free air duct fogging and a UV light home treatment because clean air matters. Now, maybe you don't need the HVAC system, but you're like, no, clean air does matter. Well, if you buy the middle tier air duct cleaning, you'll get upgraded to the Lux package for free. Busy Bee's going to take care of you. They take care of all their customers. I'm a member of the Beehive Club. I can say it from personal experience. These guys are the best. If you got big plumbing problems, you can get $1,000 off full home water and drain line replacements. You need a repair, book a service, they'll waive the dispatch fee. All this and more from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Give them a call today, 615-775-7833. That's 615-775-7833. Or find them online at busybeehvac.com. It's 11:37 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeartRadio, tune in the FM dial. You can watch us Super Talk TV. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, and find me everywhere at Chris Hand on Air. That's on Twitter, True Social, Instagram, and YouTube. For my personal page, at Chris Hand on Air. Subscribe, hit like, follow, all the things. Did I get all the things?
I think that's all the things.
I think that's all the things. You know what that means then. It's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
We're doing everything this time. It is the lightning round. We'll run through all the stories. There you go. You're quick on the lightning today. All the stories that we didn't have a chance to get to, stories that couldn't fill a whole segment, and any last-minute hot takes on anything we talked about or didn't, you're welcome to weigh in. 615-737-9986. All right, let's begin the lightning round with this story. You remember these individuals? You want to throw these guys up on the screen? What were their names? They were the St. Louis couple. Remember the St. Louis couple who there was a big protest. They broke through the gates in their gated neighborhood, and then they were standing out there with their AR and the handgun, and the husband and wife. They're pointing them at people. Mark and Patricia McCloskey. Well, since they made headlines in 2020, after confronting those Black Lives Matter protesters with their firearms, they lost their guns. Their guns were taken away from them. They didn't do anything wrong. They were protecting their home, their private property, doing the right thing. Well, they lost their guns. I do have an update, though. They've successfully recovered one of their weapons following a prolonged legal battle. On Friday, Mark McCloskey announced via his X account that their AR-15 rifle had been returned after more than 5 years. Isn't that insane? 5 years. He said it only took 3 lawsuits, 2 trips to the Court of Appeals, 1,847 days, but I got my AR-15 back, he wrote, including a photo of himself holding the rifle. In a separate post, he uploaded a video showing him retrieving the firearm from the police station, saying that gun may have only been worth $1,500 or something, and it cost me a lot of time and a lot of effort to get it back, but you have to do that, McCloskey told Fox News. You have to let them know that you will never back down, you will never give up. Based. Absolutely based.
Nice.
The AR-15 had been held by St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, while the pistol that his wife had, Patricia McCloskey, during the same confrontation, that's in custody of the St. Louis Sheriff Department. Mark McCloskey said he expects the pistol to be returned in the coming days.
Nice.
Based, right?
That's a big win.
That's a big win. That's why we got it for you here in the lightning round. Oh, you were quicker earlier.
Listen, I was pulling an edit out there.
You were quicker way earlier on the lightning. You redeemed yourself. That's Mason producing, just in case anybody wants to know who's slow to the lightning.
But listen, hey.
I got another story for you here in the lightning round. You don't hear stuff like this coming out of New England very often, but here we are. New Hampshire becoming the first state in New England to ban child sex changes. Let's go, New Hampshire. We knew you were the most based in all of New England, and you're solidifying that here. Republican Governor Kelly Ayotte signed 2 bills into law, both aimed at restricting access to sex change medical procedures for individuals under the age of 18. Yes, New Hampshire, the first state in New England to enact a ban on medical sex changes for minors, joining a growing number of states that are placing these restrictions in there. Across the country. Many of these bans follow President Trump's executive order saying no hospitals that undertake child sex changes would receive federal funding via Medicaid, Medicare, all the things. Republican Governor Kelly Ayotte signed these 2 bills into law, aiming at restricting the access to sex change medical procedures for individuals under 18. One measure prohibits puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for minors, with an exception for those already undergoing the treatment. The ban will take effect January 1st. The law calls for disciplinary action by the state's medical board for providers who violate the law. Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you. I wish it went into effect sooner than January 1st. But if that's my only complaint, it's a short list. Short list.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Take the wins where you get them. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. Are people still getting punished for wearing MAGA hats? Is this still a thing?
Really?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought this was 2025, and we shouldn't be doing this. It wasn't even officially licensed MAGA hat. Just to be perfectly honest with you, it was a gas station MAGA hat. Not knocking them. I own a few myself. But here we go. You ready for this? A man was removed from the St. Louis City SC soccer match after being told by security that his red "Make America Great Again" hat violated Major League Soccer's policy on political symbols. Are we still doing this in 2025? I guess we are. A video circulating on social media shows the man, who identified himself as Michael Wetzel, being escorted out of the stadium while explaining to the camera that he was asked to leave solely for wearing his hat. In the footage, a security guard is heard telling Wetzel that while he personally supports Donald Trump as well, that he is not allowed due to it being a political slogan. When Wetzel gestured to the pride flags flying inside the stadium, a guard told him that those were pre-approved. So you understand, right? It's not political statements in general. It's your political statement. That's the issue. Pride flags, yes, inherently political. Totally fine. MAGA hats, yes, political. Not allowed. Got it? Under Major League Soccer's fan code of conduct, the display of a political messaging is prohibited. The rules state that signs, symbols, or images for commercial purposes or for electioneering, campaigning, or advocating for or against any candidate, political party, legislative issue, or government action are prohibited in the stadium and parking lots controlled by the club or MLS. That's the one that has the Nashville Soccer Club, right?
I believe so.
I hope somebody tries it in Nashville. Wear a MAGA hat, see what happens. And then fun, let's do it the other way too. Let's wear a Kamala Harris hat and see what happens.
See if it gets taken out too.
Yeah. That'd be a fun social experiment.
Do those exist?
I think so, but they're very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Not because they're cool and highly sought after.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We could go old school and get one of those Hillary Clinton "I'm with her" hats. People wore that. So embarrassing.
Can't believe it.
So embarrassing. Security initially told this guy that he could remove his hat and then come back. So nice, so gracious. He later tried to comply with this request, and another guard told him that they were already past that and he was required to leave. What? Yeah. So one security guard said, if you go put it in your car, you're good. And then another security guard said, hard pass. Which of those security guards do you think was a liberal?
Probably the first. No, probably the second one.
Yep. And then while the MAGA hat does appear to fall under the league's ban, and that's fair, they have a right to do that. Like, that's cool. What's the deal with the pride flags? He said, those are the flags over there. Those aren't political, yes. Security pointing towards the pride flags. Are these rules equally enforced on everybody? The guard responded that the policy was, in fact, being enforced equally. It's like, well, the flags say otherwise. Oh, well. Nobody watches soccer anyway.
Nah.
I mean, wouldn't you think that they'd want to keep all the fans that they have?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, yeah.
But they don't. It's insane. I got another story for you here in the lightning round. This one's pretty interesting. You ever watch Family Feud?
Used to, yeah.
Family Feud's a good show. It's a good show. I liked it when it was Louis Anderson. I liked it when it was Al from Home Improvement. I'm a big Richard Dawson guy. You know? Everybody loves Family Feud. Steve Harvey's does a good job.
Yeah, he said some good stuff.
And they always do the Celebrity Family Feud.
Yeah.
Which is really fun because you get the celebrities and then they're doing the Family Feud. It's hilarious.
A little change up.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace. I'm not watching Celebrity Family Feud. Want to know why?
Why?
This is insane. All the celebrities raise money for charities, right?
Okay.
This is insane. Celebrity Family Feud is going to feature the first all-trans team, led by Laverne Cox, which is the perfect name. Perfect name. So Laverne Cox is the captain. Got it. Do you know what celebrity charity they're raising money for?
Oh boy.
Just guess anything. What on earth could they be raising money for? Anything.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood. Pretty close.
Ooh.
Pretty close. They're raising money for black prostitutes.
What?
Celebrity Family Feud, baby. The all-trans group, dubbed Team Laverne, competed in Celebrity Feud and they raised money for the T.S. Madison Starter Home, a charity led by Madison that describes itself as an innovative housing initiative designed to support and empower Black trans women engaged in sex work. I missed the trans part. So it's Black trans prostitutes that they're raising money for. Details matter. Details matter.
Everybody should have an opportunity to sell their body.
Everyone should, no matter the color of their skin.
Jeez.
We're playing for the T.S. Madison Starter House. Partnered with NAESM, Madison said in the video, explaining that the T.S. Madison Starter House is a re-entry house system for impacted trans women. Okay. So, I don't know. I actually might watch it. I feel like Steve Harvey is going to be really uncomfortable the entire time.
When one of the contestants has a larger mustache than him.
All right. So, just another show that used to be good, but into the trash it goes.
Wah.
Yep. I don't know. I didn't even know it was still in the air, to be honest with you.
I didn't either.
Got another story for you here in the lightning round. This one also comes out of Los Angeles, and LAPD. There was some shoplifting going on, and they said we don't respond to shoplifting. And then the guy on the other side of the 911 call said, no, you don't understand. There's 25 youths in here robbing this gas station. And then LAPD said to the store owner there's nothing they could do because it was just shoplifting. A mob of 25 kids ransack your store. LAPD says can't do anything.
Sudden burst of young thieves as 24 kids take over the Chevron station in Lincoln Heights.
Just ambushed the store and ransacked it pretty much.
Owner Jerry Salib says it happened in an instant. You can see the young boys grabbing boxes full of candy, as many chips as they could carry, even cases of beer.
Oh, to be perfectly honest with you, why didn't all the kids go for the beer first? What's happening with today's youth? That's what I would have gone for in my youth days. We're going to ransack a convenience store and you're going to get Cheetos? Come on.
Salib says they got away with more than $1,200 worth of goods.
When it's a gang of them at 24, 25 people, it's like an organized crime type of situation, you know? Like, those 25 kids could easily overpower my cashier. And
thankfully,
yeah, he's absolutely right. But LAPD says, no, it's just shoplifting. You know, all jokes aside, this is insanity.
Cashier wasn't injured. The drama erupting Thursday evening at Daly and Mission. You can see the thieves ride up on their bikes and scooters and run in. So many packing into the small store, they were running into each other in the chaos of their crime.
Targeted and organized, premeditated, organized. And it's, of course, they're gathering so many of them that I can't even stop just one kid, right? It's 24, 25 kids. So, you know, it leaves me kind of helpless.
Salib says they've had minor theft before, but nothing like this. Adding to his frustration, he says the LAPD couldn't help.
Wouldn't. The words matter. Words matter. I think you would lean on wouldn't help. That's where I would lean.
They said there was nothing they can do about it. They said it's considered shoplifting, and shoplifting isn't something they can really go after.
Salib says given their tactics, he's sure the thieves have struck before, and he's hoping they'll be held accountable before they commit another calculated crime.
Yeah, small chance of them being held accountable before they commit another calculated crime. Like, yeah, they're not going to be held accountable. Why does anybody want to live in these kinds of cities? Honestly. It makes no sense to me. What the hell is happening in this country? And then the police, it's just shoplifting. It's just shoplifting. When 25 youths storm your store and take anything that they want, no big deal. No big deal. Insurance will cover it, I'm sure. That does it for the lightning round here today on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. We'll check in with Chad Benson next, see what's coming up on his show today on Super Talk. 11:56, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Chad Benson's in studio. What's up, Chad?
What's up?
You have a good weekend?
Quiet weekend.
Yeah? What'd you do?
Nothing. I was, we just did some stuff over at the other studio, getting it ready, because one is radio studio interviews, and the other one is straight podcast studio.
Okay.
So getting stuff ready, and, you order something, it'll be there in 2 days. 2 days later, it's like, it's been delayed. So, it's hurry up, wait, hold on. Or hurry up, wait, hurry
I ran
up.
through that with my stuff.
Yeah, so.
Like crazy.
Yeah, so we're just, we're waiting on a few things, get all the things set up. So it's pretty cool.
Cool, man. Good stuff. Good
so
stuff.
you're open, man. That was sweet.
Yeah, we did a little new intro for the YouTube page. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was damn good, dude.
Yeah, I'm just having fun, man. I didn't have an opportunity until the kids were away where I could literally spend 15 hours straight just learning a new skill.
And then you get sucked into it.
Yep.
And it becomes a lot of fun. And then, the minute you're done with something, you're like, that is awesome. You know what? I can do 100 times better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah, that's cool, though. I love it.
Yeah, man, it's been a good time. And so I'm going to be putting out a lot more content on my personal YouTube. I know you do that a bunch.
Yeah, so it's what you got to do, and it's fun. And, because I do my stuff so early in the day, stuff happens. We do that. Plus, we can do interviews, talk about all kinds of other things. And for once in a while, a swear word may come across and be like, So it's just, but it's cool because you can, not only do videos, but stuff that maybe you wouldn't even touch on the show.
Yeah, true. What are you paying attention to today?
I don't know. What are you paying attention to? What'd you pay attention to?
Some guy with a MAGA hat got kicked out of a soccer game in St. Louis.
I saw that.
Why are we still doing this?
I have no idea. Did you see that?
And they had pride flags up.
Did you see that couple? Remember that couple when the
McCloskey's. Yeah. I talked about him in the lightning round.
Finally, right?
They got their AR-15 back after 5 years.
After 5 years.
What is up with that?
I have no idea.
File 3 lawsuits and spend just
you hear stories all the time.
Ridiculous amounts of money.
Guys going to buy a car, they got $12,000 in cash, and they pull them over. They go, you guys are probably drug dealers, and try getting your cash back.
Yeah.
We found no drugs, but we think you're drug dealers.
It's insane.
It is.
Shout out to him for keeping his foot on the gas on getting that gun back, because I probably would have been like, you know what? It's easier to get a new AR.
Yeah, but it's also nice when you're a lawyer.
This is true.
Right. It's like when you're a lawyer, you can kind of do some other things that other people can't.
This is fair.
This
is fair.
You and I'd be like, okay, how much for a new one compared to 3, 4, 5 years? If somebody's help paying for it, that's one thing. But, at some point in time, you got to go, I got no money.
Yep. I hear you, man. So what are you going to focus on today? You going to talk about that?
We'll talk a little bit about the jobs, talk a little about the economy, talk about, there's a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend, but it was a weird weekend. There were stories, but nothing massive outside of the firing of the lady.
The number lady.
The numbers lady.
Which was so funny. Kristen Welker going at Kevin Hassett on Meet the Press. She's like, but what is your evidence? And he goes, the revisions, how she keeps revising the numbers. She goes, but will you present evidence to the American people? He's like, the revisions are the evidence that she kept getting it wrong.
Yeah.
They revised the Biden job numbers down from
about 800,000.
818,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't keep your job.
No. So, but
if you or I were doing that bad, they would get rid of us.
Well, the thing is, she's the messenger. Who else do you need to fire inside of there? Because you didn't fire the people that delivers her the report that she goes and says, here's the report. Therein lies the magic. What's it, like 2,000 plus people work on that thing?
Get rid of them all. Fire everybody.
Then what?
Then you wait. They did it in England. They had to wait. They had to sit on their hands for a little while they established a new board to do the work.
So, I mean, again, you get it so wrong. And the other thing, who's giving you data? What if you guys don't give me all the data? How do I go about doing something?
It'd be one thing if we were revising upwards and they were coming in with conservative estimates, and then the revisions were always like, oh, we added 30K, we added 17K, we added 14K. But when the revisions are always going down, that's an issue.
Of course it's an issue. When does it ever go up on anything?
Never does.
Never does. It's always down, down, down.
Yep.
So there you go. We're going to have a lot of fun.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Chad's in next. It's 12 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.